Hey everybody, thanks for coming. Today I'm going to show you how to make cold brew coffee. Cold brew coffee is the most awesome way I've ever had of having coffee. It's just so good, it's so full of flavor, you just about want to chew on it. But you need the right equipment and the right technique, so I'm going to show you everything. If you're used to grinding coffee beans with this little two-blade grinder here, you know, dump them on top, blades twirl around, it's not going to work for you. It's not going to make good cold brew. The reason is, cold brew coffee needs uniform size grounds, the coarsest possible. So you need a vertical mill grinder. Now, I'm using a Compresso 5560.01 Infinity Conical burr grinder. I covered this in the written part. And it'll do exactly what you need. So, we need, some people wonder, what kind of beans do I need? Do I have to get something really expensive? Mine are expensive, okay? For the last 5 or 6 years, 7 years, I've been using Maui grown coffee. I've been using pure Maui dark roast. Oh, it's so good. It's also 20 bucks a pound. So not everybody wants to buy $20 a pound coffee. So in the spirit of experimenting, I went to my local H-E-B here in San Antonio, the grocery store, and I got myself some just generic dark roast beans. I ground them, brewed them up for 48 hours, and they were so good. I couldn't believe that those common beans had produced such great coffee. It was amazing to me. So the answer is, no matter what bean you get, cold brew is going to make it 1,000 times better. Trust me. You got to try this. So, let's go and talk about grinding. First thing, take off the cover. I have failed at sometimes to take off the cover and I've had to play 5600 pickup. Oh, it's not good. So, I've got almost a cup of beans here, as you can see, and just dump them in there. You don't have to put the cover back on. There's no worries. The beans aren't going to come flying out the top. Now you may notice that as you get towards the bottom, some of the beans might not have all gone into the hopper, into the grinder. So just kind of tip it, tap it, tap it. Life is good, they all go in. Okay. Now you're going to find the first really big difference in the vertical mill grinder as opposed to the little two-blade twirly one. As the beans go through the grinder, they pick up static electricity. And if you just open up the container here that catches the grounds, they're going to want to fly all over the place. They're going to cover the top of this, they're going to cover the counter. It's going to be a mess and you're going to hate it. But don't hate, it's easy. First thing you can do is you just walk away for 5 or 10 minutes. And when you come back, the static electricity will have bled off and there's no flying around, which is good. If you're impatient like me and want to be getting my coffee done as soon as possible, and you say, you're coming out now, mister, then we need to do some tapping. So you take your stirring spoon or fork and just tap it a few times. You don't beat it to death, you just tap it a few times. That knocks all the grounds off the front of the collection container. So nothing comes flying out. I like to put my grinder here on a sheet of paper, just regular printer paper, because that'll catch whatever grounds I might get clumsy and drop. Instead of being on the counter, they're on this paper, and I can put them into the beaker when it's done. So there's still some grounds up here, so I just gotta reach in there and I catch the grounds and I put them in there, so I got all my coffee. And then this comes out. There's no grounds all over the place. Life is good. Put it in like that. And again, there's a little bit of static here, so you can tap it like so. Before we put this back, there are still grounds in the grinder, in the grinding mechanism. We want to get those out for two reasons. One, you want to get all your coffee. Number two, if they sit in there and get stale, then your next grind of coffee is eek. So you just go and get the grinder going again, hold it to the side, tap it, and the grinds all come out. Easy. So now we're done with the grinder. And we take our paper and we pour it into the beaker. And that's it. You just ground coffee. And next time we're going to talk about how important what kind of water you use is. Okay, folks, see you again in a little while. Summertime, time for iced coffee.